Good afternoon. It's April 28th, and I wanted to take some time to update you on how the company's doing. And there's been 6 questions submitted, and we'll take a few minutes and answer those. First, on how we're doing with the company. Right now, the architectural side of the business is fairly steady and strong. So 1A is busy, coating is fairly busy, and latex is busy. The bad side of the business right now is automotive. We're really slow there. We have a few small jobs for Axalta and the bindery, but beyond that, we don't have anything really sizable, and we don't see anything sizable coming in until the fall. And so because of that, we'll likely continue furloughing about 10% of the workforce through June. And we're basically looking into 8-week buckets of time to try and manage the business given the demands of our clients. So let's get into some of your questions. The first question is, what is the company doing to ensure we're safe when we start to work? Focusing on sanitation and maintenance, right? So we've had twice a day disinfecting of all the common high-touch areas. We've implemented social distancing. We're staggering the lunches. And then finally, we're taking temperatures on every shift. And if anybody has a temperature of over 100 or over per the CDC guidelines, we're asking those folks to go home and not return to work until they have 3 days without a temperature again. And we'll continue that practice when we return to work on May 4th. The second question is, do we all have to wear masks when we return to work? Effective May 1, in the state of Illinois, if you're in a public place, you should be wearing a mask. We will be providing 2 reusable masks to everybody effective May 4th. And so we'll ask you to wear those, especially if you're in a high-touch common area. Some of the tighter areas that we work, say color matching as an example, we definitely want you to wear your mask. There's other places maybe that you're not necessarily within 6 feet of someone. That's not a requirement. Third question is, will there be a modified schedule when we return to work? And the answer is basically no. We're going to have 5 days a week, 8-hour shifts, and we expect it to stay that way through June. That's how we have it scheduled right now. Fourth question is, how many cases of COVID-19 have been in the company? We've had 1 confirmed case. That person quarantined for 2 weeks, and we had everyone on his shift quarantine as well. We're glad to report that everybody is safe and sound, and all have returned to work and doing well. There have been 5 cases that have COVID-like symptoms but are not positive. For those folks, we've asked them to quarantine at home, and they are either fully recovered or seem to be on the path of recovery. And we've let the people know that worked with them what was going on so they could monitor their situations a little bit more closely. And so we've been fairly fortunate so far that we've not had any major incidents as it relates to it. The next question is, when will there be a mandatory callback to work? And so May 4th, we're expecting essentially 90% be at 90% staffing. And you'll be getting a call from HR or supervisors letting you know if you're returning to work, and I would expect that to be done by the end of the day, Thursday. The last question is, how about health insurance? Will it still be in effect if we're not working? And the answer to that is yes. What we're going to do is we're going to pay the employer portion, and we'll also pay the employee portion for the duration of the furlough. So if you're off of all of May and June, we'll cover May and June for you, and then we'll, in subsequent months, we'll make a deferment against your compensation to cover that, and we'll spread it out over 4 months so that it's not such a big impact on you. And if you return in June, we'll just do it for May, that kind of thing. So we'll do our very best to keep your health insurance in effect, as we know that that's a really big concern, and rightfully so. So hopefully that's answered your questions. Return to work is May 4 for 90% of the company. We're looking forward to seeing those folks back that haven't already returned. And if you have questions or concerns, feel free to address them with your supervisor or HR when they call, or email us. Email Bob Kester or Tom Ragen and Teresa. And then also remember, we have that line set up for HR so that you can call in any time and leave a message. Thank you very much.